Hello, y'all. How's it going? It is Tuesday, and tonight I'm randomly revisiting an old game that I remember from like 15 years ago. Exactly, it was 2009 when this game came out, the summer of 2009. And that's 2024 now, so that means, 15 years, just over 15 years since this originally hit. A couple months ago, I did another stream, a random revisit to Obra Dinn, and I'd kind of like to make this sort of like a regular type of stream that I do, similar to how I do like XBLA, or not XBLA, similar to how like I do Game Pass streams where I play a bunch of Game Pass games. But this type of stream may be a little more small on average, and not necessarily like multiple games. Just like, hey, here's a random game from some time ago that's not exactly from my childhood, but still, it's been a while since I've seen it, and I'd like to just play some of it for the folks at home. The camera figured out where it should be. And Splosion Man, I think, will be an interesting one. If you don't know Splosion Man, it is a 2D platformer from like the era of, like I said, 2009, right? It was released as part of Summer of Arcade, probably for like 10, 15 bucks tops. And it is pretty much dead simple. You hit the button to explode, and you explode onto like barrels and like exploding barrels and stuff to jump high and also destroy things. And it's not the most nuanced 2D platformer, and I'm very curious how it holds up in today's modern age where the 2D platformer is not a distant dream anymore. You know, the 2D platformer, you have more to compete with these days than you did in 2009, where it was like, yeah, you got the new games, new Mario Brothers, you got Donkey Kong Country Returns, I guess, and I think Meat Boy was like later. You have like things like Cloning Clyde, and like that's about it for like good 2D platformers on the XBLA, especially. I guess you could plot Blade into that category, though it's much more of a puzzle platformer. This is not. This is a no thinking required type game, and I'm curious how it holds up. I'll say at the time, I feel like Splosion Man was just a great example of a 2D platformer that is too linear. You know, like, basically every jump is predetermined from the jump, right? Like, from the start. You have a line across each level that you're going through, and it's pretty straightforward, pretty brainless. Doesn't quite have the, I would say, level design chops as like a DKC or a Mario. It's actually, I guess, more similar to speedrun levels from today's era. It's from today's Mario Maker output, today's Mario Maker stages. But I do think that the speedrun levels have a lot more flair to them, relatively, a lot more oomph, a lot more spice. I'm curious how this holds up. I'll also say I had a perfectly good weekend. Honestly, didn't get as much done as I was looking to do. I kind of went in looking to be like, oh, I'm going to watch Look Back, and I'm going to catch up on the C-tier animes that I've been falling behind on this season since it started. And I was behind on the anime season for a lot of reasons, but there's still a couple shows I need to catch up on. And I also wanted to do some productive stuff. And basically all I did this weekend was I played Metaphor and managed to finally finish it, which feels good. Love that game. It's gonna be hard to beat for Game of the Year. It took me like 86 hours, 86 and a half hours So that's fun. Call it an even 87, probably including times where I reloaded saves. That's one hell of a game, and I advise all Persona fans to not sleep on it. But point remains, I need to watch. I need to do some stuff. I need to find some time in the coming week or so to do things. I also need to plan an extra live stream sometime in the next couple weeks here. I don't know when that's gonna be. We'll see. TBD, yeah, let's say TBD. TBA would be if I knew and I wasn't saying. I don't know. I don't know when it's gonna be. Okay. That's what I wanted to say up top. This stream will primarily be just me playing the game and thinking about that. I'm not gonna talk about, like, what is it that Nintendo announced this week? Didn't Nintendo announce something this week? They announced something this week. Whatever it was, I'm not going to talk about it tonight. It wasn't Nintendo. I guess the biggest gaming news was Overwatch Classic. Could be good, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have time to play Overwatch in November. Come on. Come on, man. It's the busy time of year. Catching up for Game of the Year, things like that. There's not time to be playing an old arena shooter. Not a hero-based shooter from the past. Like, release that shit in January. I don't know when it's coming out. It could be out in the near future, and not now. Regardless, that's not going to be the focus tonight. I'm going to be playing this game. To that end, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's hit start and go. By the way, I'll say I did think about Splosion, man, which is sort of a sequel to Splosion, man. Thought about that, but when I looked into it, when I checked into it, turns out I never bought it. So I'll say that's a good sign for how I feel about this game. I feel about it strong enough where when it came out with a second game, I didn't pick it up. I'll say this game, I think it has some charm to it. The whole gimmick is that these scientists, they don't want to be blown up. But Splosion Man, he is a cartoon character. He is a cartoon character, and watch out for him. So you have 3 jumps and 3 explosions, and when you land, they recharge. You can destroy stuff in the background and in the foreground. Mostly it's pretty straightforward. Just, you know, explode when the level expects you to explode. Explode on the exploding barrels to get like a boost. Jump, jump, jump if you like. Though I guess it's not as effective if it's not against a wall or something. Like, see here, 1, 2, 3. The third jump doesn't get you very far. Get you very high. You can explode 3 times. You can explode. That'll get you over a gap if you want to. I say if you want to. It's like one way through all these levels. I don't think it really messes with with like semi-solids or anything of that nature. It does have cakes. Every level has a cake in it, and occasionally there'll be a fork in the road, I guess. And on the other end of that fork in the road will be a cake. Generally, is how it works out. Oh, that's the game, I guess. This used to be a thing that all games did 15 years ago. It's normal. Just stop what you're doing and show you a t-shirt that you got for your avatar. I guess this isn't that unpuzzly. You have to figure out how to get around a turret, and you do so by explode off walls. I figured that out already. In fact, you could not figure it out. You have to figure out a little bit how to get around stuff, and just, you know, wall jump up the walls that you have access to, I guess. And kill people. Now this is interesting. In this case, you can't just, if you explode just willy-nilly, you'll end up in the wrong place. You need to turn around first and explode to the left. That's level design. I guess maybe this game has a little more in common than like, whoopsie daisy. A little more in common with like Rampage than I would have thought, right? Like, in the same way Rampage is very much like, yeah, just like kill people and that's the fun. This game is very much like, yeah, you can run and jump. You can run and jump. But that's right, it is level design. You can run and jump, but like, main appeal here is to be a little psychopath and to blow up all the scientists. How you doing, Trainer Derek? You doing good? Audio good? How's the audio? Does it need to be a little lower? What do you think? Not really, but we ball. Audio is fine. I can make it just... I guess there's enemies now. There's enemies now that, like, can kill you. Things have been going on in the world, I understand. Kind of, shit out there, you know? Oh, now we have to avoid guys. Or I guess maybe this could be like stealth if you approach them from behind and they're not looking at you. I think it's mostly just, you know... Mostly just, jump over them, I think. It's interesting that behind you in your wake, you've just been having a bad week, personally, on top of all that. Gotcha. I don't know about sports, so I can't speak to that. Trainer Derek. Congratulations on your thing. It's kind of weird because killing these guys kind of seems to like pause you up for a second. So I feel like you're kind of rewarded more for like going around them. You know, like if you explode on them, you don't go over them. It's faster to just I say it's faster to go over them if you can. Let me see if I can. Oh, if I do like this. He walked away, so I couldn't do it, but that could have worked. I do feel like it is worth noting that this game was originally, what, like, 10 bucks? I think it was like 10 bucks. Which was the first game that breached the $15 price point? Was that Braid? I remember that being a big deal at the time. Look here, there's a secret where if you go this way, you can get a thing. The one time, every time the path diverges a little bit, it's always a special thing for you. The Goofy game? Yes, that's correct. The lava cavern out there. What was that? What was the game that went up to $15? I remember that being a big deal. And, you know, obviously in retrospect, there's $20 indie games now. I'll say indie games specifically. There's $20 indie games. There's indie games that you just pay forever for. You know, I guess those are, you know, free to play. It's different. I'll say, I think one of the best design things you can do in a platformer, and maybe this is just me being very Donkey Kong Country brained, because it's not like Metroid or if Metroid's a platformer, I don't know if it really counts. It's not like Mega Man has this, if Mega Man counts as well. I feel like one of the best things you can do is have semi-solids that you can pass through from below, you know? Like, that just makes it so that you have so many more options in traversing the world and, like, getting around more naturally if you can just pass through solid objects if they're thin enough. Oh, that wasn't a good... That was bad news for that dude. Just makes things a little more easier and, makes it more natural to just, like, go up and up and up one level at a time. Okay. There's definitely something down here. Every time there's a fork in the road, it's always, you know, the collectible. They got one. Also, you know, just going through the platform and getting to the top is a little nicer, I think, than hanging off it, just faster. Cases like that. Eh. You know, it is funny when the scientists are suddenly in a death trap. I got a gamer pick. It is funny when the scientists get crushed by the thing, or you know, presumably that they set up. I'm good. I don't need to install that. That is amusing. They never made a third one of these. I think this is like a boss level right here. Or like, you know, this is the rattle battle type situation. There's a water level coming out, up at us. but it's still pretty linear and, you know, like, this is very much a game where you can play it with no thought whatsoever, right? Just, yeah, run and jump, and it all works itself out. Like I said, Rampage might be actually a good comparison. You know, this is like Rampage, but there's like more level design to it, and less just slightly less gratuity. It's like Rampage, but with those two things slightly backwards. Let me get that cake. There's no point in not getting this cake. I wonder how long this game is. I think we just finished the first world, so been going like, what, 10, 20 minutes? Like, no time at all. Oh, no, we didn't. That was just a level. I'll say, like, this game maybe is... Okay, we're going down here. Open the door. This game is much more in style and substance, similar to like Clone and Clyde, than you would think, right? Like, it kind of looks a lot like Clone and Clyde. Obviously, it is also an Xbox 360 game. Do people know Clone and Clyde? Do people remember Clone and Clyde? Clone and Clyde is like a weird puzzle platformer. Again, from the era where platformers were dead. And it was clunky and weird, but, you know, back in the original, at the start of Xbox Live Arcade, you weren't doing better. Never heard of it, Trainer Derek says. It is also like this sort of 3D. But I feel like you would think like indie like, you'd think like indie games would look like this. You know, this sort of quality level these days, but they either look better or worse. You know, they either look like more polished and less flat, or they look like, you know, distinctly lo-fi. There's like a very 360 Xbox Live Arcade look to this. Things are very reflective, I guess. Oh look, now we gotta start timing going through some spaces because electricity. That's interesting. Or maybe it's not a timing thing always, it's just another type of fence we can turn off. What other games look like this? Have this sort of vibe to them? I guess, you know, part of it is that there aren't that many platformers of this vein, even during the Xbox Live Arcade era. Okay, we need to hang off that motherfucker, not go down. Checking for cakes. Checking for cakes. need to not pull myself up there. This is gameplay. There's like maybe a weird second of delay before you can explode again after landing on the ground. Like it takes a second for your explosions to come back. Wish that it was a little more seamless. I wonder if that free demo for Splosion Man is still up and available. I wouldn't mind ending this tonight with just trying out the trial of Splosion Man, because like I said, apparently I never bought it. Didn't go in on it. It was kind of like, I'm good. I'm good. Oh right, your explosions are also your health. And as you get shot, you get exploded. Interesting, I guess. You know what? I'll say, yeah. There's multiple kinds of gameplay here. Oh God. Oh, there's a platform over here. Multiple kinds of gameplay here. There's not just jumping, also annoying pattern. Jeez. There's like a little bit of a wind up to him running at full speed, I guess. God damn it! You can swing the camera around for no reason. There's annoying bullshit as well, in addition to the jumping based gameplay. Those guys died. I'm guessing over here is the cake. What? Do you think this is the critical path? Nah, this gotta be cake. This was hidden, like, off to the side a little bit. And we're gonna be able to fall back down, probably. Oh no, this is critical path. The right way is not an option. That's always how it is in this game. If there's this fork, it's either like it's a dead end, go the other way, or it's like there's a cake that way, and if you go the other way, it's consistently one or the other. Metaphor finished, I'm not sure what exactly I'll play next. I'll say, I did buy Brothership just to see, like, how it is. And because, like, you know, fuck. That doesn't feel good. Feel like you should be able to finesse that a little bit more than you can, I guess. I don't know. I guess because it's always an explosion. You know what I'll say? Fuck talking about Brothership. I have a point to make now. An observation. This game is weird insofar as, in platformer terms, no matter how long you hold down the button, the guy jumps the same height. You know, there's no full jump, half jump, so on. There's no nuance there, and it's better to have nuance in a platformer. It's better to have like a half jump and a full jump in order to finagle it when you need to. You know what I'll say? I'll say that is one of many criticisms to be levied against Splosion Man 2016. Summer of Arcade classic, Splosion Man, from 2009. Maybe there's others as well. There's definitely others as well. I'll say with Brothership, I've heard that the story, and I believe that the story is kind of shit. So I've been playing it as a podcast game, and I intend to just, you know, fast forward through as much plot as I can and just try to enjoy it as sort of a mechanical thing. And like just, you know, I don't know, the visuals, I guess. You know, it's been obvious from the jump that the idea is that it's a reinvention of... It's a reinvention of, you also have very little air control as well. It's a reinvention of, the Mario and Luigi games, but like, I'll say, like, every time it's different in a way, I feel weird about that, right? Like, oh, Luigi is A now. You menu with A when you're playing as Luigi. That's dicked up. That's not how Luigi works. You hit B to menu with him. And then, after you're done hitting B, what? Weird, okay. What the hell? Weird. Okay. Weird. Weirdly ineffective, guns. Like, what was the point of all those? Maybe we were supposed to deactivate them or something. The ways that are different are like, you know, so irking me, right? Not just in the way that it is a, oh, now there's doors to open up. Ooh. Doors. What a great mechanic. Oh, and you can land, okay, so they become platformers. That's kind of cool. And when you jump off them, they disappear. There's some design here. There's some design here to these doors. Something of interest. That's what this game constantly needs. Something of interest. I don't know about that. I'm not sure anything else is really out right now. I'll say I was kind of curious if I could go back to Yakuza Infinite Wealth and do that. Kind of been hearing that game is like better than I reckon. I don't know. I didn't really care for the first one of those, but apparently this one is so vastly improved, maybe I would enjoy it. Despite my, I'll say also I like the other Like a Dragon games, it's just that the RPG one just was very sloppy to me. Yakuza is hot lately? Yeah. Weird, why didn't I have a jump there? Did it not recharge before I jumped? Weird. Weird. Yakuza is damn good. Yeah, that's weird. You have to wait for a second for it to recharge? You can't just jump, jump, jump. You have to be like, I'm stopping to get my dude back. Or else you die. It should work more like Celeste, where once you're down the ground, it's just pop, there you go. One of 100 million reasons why Celeste is a better game, I suppose. Kind of want to do that before end of year, before Game of the Year. But also, how long is Infinite Wealth? Does anyone know how long Infinite Wealth is? It's like a 100-hour game, right? I just finished Metaphor. I don't know I have time for that. Like, I really need to, you know, take my free time back, as it were. Oh, here we go. Oh, you do it. You know, I'll say there's a little more puzzle platformer in this game than I remember. A little more puzzle platformer. Like, it's almost... It is very speedrun-y in terms of like a Mario, how it would compare to like a Mario Maker level, but there's also some moments where you do have to think like for a second. Just a second, though. It's not that complicated. Let's see the level select. We're like 10 levels in. There's 16 in this world. We've gotten the cake on every one. Let's carry on. It's like a 100-hour RPG, right? Hey, Corn. It's going okay. I just finished Metaphor, so I have free time back again. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that free time. Again, with the jumps not recharging instant you hit the ground. Being annoying for suddenly being out of jumps. There's also in this game just like a lot of empty space, which is kind of weird. A lot of weirdly empty space that is just like hanging out. Like, yeah, you can go to the left if you like, but there's nothing over there. This game could use a banana-style collectible, a coin that is just sprinkled everywhere in places that they want to encourage the player to pop in on. Oh, I guess that's there because if you get up to the top, a banana coin, yeah, that also would have been a good idea. You can't even say like, oh, at the time they hadn't figured out like, you know, they didn't know about that because like, yeah, no, banana coins. That's existed for ages. Since the SNES. There's not any like banana coin type collectible in Mario, right? There should be. Banana coins are just a very smart mid-tier collectible. You know, bigger than a banana, smaller than a DK coin or a token. You like these spinning platforms? Hang on, I gotta... Yeah, this is definitely where the cake is, right? I approached the cake from the opposite side there. Interesting. Does this take place in a volcano? I think it's like a secret lab, but yes. When you look out the window, you do see like volcanoes and stuff. Lava. It takes place in a lava biome, I would say. I don't know that it takes place in a volcano. But, you know, there's lava about. Where else do you see lava but volcanoes? I think these scientists are a little evil. Like, they have created the Splosion Man. They have created this man who cannot stop exploding. What else is coming out this year? Brothership. Oh, Life is Strange. I've heard people are really positive on the new Life is Strange. I probably should get that out. Yes, that's right. The water kills you. Water is death here. It's very cold. You're an exploding man. And the water is frigid. I probably should check out Life is Strange, huh? That's probably something I should do one of these days this week, maybe, I don't know. It's all out. And each episode is probably just, what, a few hours long? Not sure how they paced it. Hello, Luigi Stain, how you doing? Do you like Haraji or Luigi or Stain? I forget. You always say that I don't have to say the full name. You've never seen Bandicoot gameplay as good as yours? This isn't Bandicoot. This is Splosion Man. This is Splosion Man, a 2009 classic. You call it whatever? I figured as much. You need to relax. Thanks for asking. Made your day. I have asked too many times, perhaps. This one feels weird. The timing of this. That looked like I was out of there. That looked like only my feet would have exploded if I were to be exploded at all. Hello? What was that? How does this work? Oh, there we go. We have to avoid the wall jump. The wall jump is not our friend there. You were meaning to download the Bastion music and use it for your stream. You're made to do that. It's not mine. Just search for Extended Bastion. Extended Bastion music. I got it from YouTube. I don't rip my own video game music. That's, who does that? We're getting near to Xmas, though, so maybe we'll change that to Xmas music relatively soon. I don't know. Oh boy, there's evil robots now. Who are very ineffective, apparently. They have come short of killing me every time they've blasted me with their lasers. That's not ideal. Not ideal. Just continue shooting until dead. Continue shooting until dead. I think it's Been the Breaker. I think it's Been the Breaker is the song that I use for the starting soon. I am not sure. I'll be honest, I wanted a different one, but it wasn't available in an extended format. No one had done that work yet. I say yet. It's a, you know, Bastion is like a 10-year-old game. I'll say, I think there are a lot of good XBLA games that are ripe for a revisit, and I'll say, Bastion would be a good one. Bastion would be legitimately a good one for a stream such as tonight's, where I just play an old game and don't think too much about it. I say I'm not thinking too much about it. I've been talking non-stop about the various qualities of it and how they stand up. How's your dog? I don't have a dog. My dad had a dog. She passed away on last week. She passed away last week. Was put down, you know, she was 15. So, currently I have no dogs in my life. First time since ever. I think there's never been an interregnum as far as dogs are concerned. A dog interregnum? Has anyone ever said the words dog interregnum to describe the time between having a dog and not having a dog? I say not having a dog. It's always been my family's dog, you know? And I haven't lived with my family for 11 years, so, you know, it hasn't technically been even like, I haven't lived with a dog for 11 years, but, you know, family dog is still, you know, you still feel a way about that, right? About dog you see every week or, you know, or so. Yes. She was a great dog, and I do miss her. Dog interregnum. I would like to get a dog once I have a house, but also I don't know, like, logistically that does sound complicated. You know, I don't work from home every day now, so what do I do on the days where I'm going into the office? It's not like you can just bring your dog to work, and it would be cool if the work did have a place to put your dog. You know, if that's a service they offer, that'd be really cool. I don't think it is, though. At the previous office, like, there was always a dog that was, like, in the, I say at the previous office. Before the pandemic. What are we doing here? Oh, this guy is tough. Needs extra explosions to explode. That's great. At the last job that I had before the current job, before the pandemic, before that office closed, there was a office dog who would be like in one of the nearby offices that wasn't our company, and that dog would like you know, sit at the window of that office and just like you know, try to get attention. And it was so cute to just like walk over there and be like, oh, you know, give it some love and such. And occasionally, you know, the doors would open. She'd be going for a walk, and you'd pet her then, normal style. My family say, my dad says he's too old for a dog now, and that's probably true. Which means that it either falls on me or my sister to get a dog, I guess. Probably will be my sister. You know, she has a kid already and a husband. That makes dog care easier, I suppose. And also has like cats too, so you know, more accustomed to cats, to like pet ownership. I'm a software engineer in my day-to-day, I guess, you know, when I'm not streaming, during like the working day, you know. You understand. Support dogs are a thing. I don't have that need, so that's not something I would, that's not really relevant to, me and the prospect of how to, fit a dog into my life. I think my sister does like, you know, daycare and whatever during the day. Would that be what I would have to do with a dog? You can gift subs, that is correct. You can gift as many subs if you like. I like money. I like money. And also, I'll say, like, subscribers get all sorts of cool emotes. Like, look at these. Look at those. They're to my left, so I should look to the left. Look at all those nice emotes that you get for tier 1. You don't have to worry about the other tiers. No one ever goes for other tiers, even on bigger channels. Yes, cheers do get you emotes as well. That Crying Kirby one. That's, man, I bet that one would be really nice to get. Yeah, I got some good emotes. I like to use them as well. One of the great things about being a streamer, about being an affiliate, even if you know, not that many people are paying for the emotes right now, I get them for free. So that's fun. I can just use them whenever, and it's good. This section is weird because it's not like... We're getting into some areas that are not like brainless and linear. They're just sort of a little bit random and chaotic. Thank you for the bits. I'll say if you cheer over a certain amount in one go, there's some things that happen. Basically, it's like if you cheer as much as a sub would be worth, I think. Like some stars start to shoot as well as the rockets, as well as the satellite notification. And the same thing happens in the case of a direct dono. Yeah, you did just give me 1 cent with that with that one bit. That is correct. Thank you for the penny. I haven't changed the emotes in a while, but I feel like, honestly, I feel like they're all great, and I wouldn't change one of them. Fuck. I'd only change them. The audio works, by the way, right? It hasn't gotten screwed up when I wasn't looking. Let me know if it's ever screwed up, okay? That's right, yes indeed. This game is messy, but like the whole premise is kind of that you're a messy, sloppy, exploding dude, just like careening through a laboratory, so it kind of works. I guess a thing that is important to note again, I'll note again, this was $10. Yeah, go study, but catch you later. See you later. Ah, fuck me! I need to do that switch thing, I guess. Catch you later, dude. I'll be live again on Friday. I need to, I'll say I still got an issue with my PC, where it's still not, it lost the registry key randomly during a Windows update, and apparently this is a known issue. So I need to probably get with, like, Windows support over the phone if I can, you know, get a call back and wait for it patiently. I need to do that because I would like to not deal with just things on my screen that say, hey, you gotta activate this shit. Even though I already paid $100 fucking for this copy of Windows when I made this new PC. Oh, we use him as a human shield here. I forgot about this song. It's a good joke. These guys went on to make some other games, right? Now that I hear this song, I'm remembering, like, didn't they make an FMV game? Didn't they make, like, what other games did they make after Splosion Man? Didn't they make, like, the taxi roundabouts? Splosion Man. Developer. Twisted Pixel, yeah. Let me see. What else did they make? Twisted Pixel. They made Comic Jumper, Splosion Man, The Maw, The Gunstringer, and Wilson's Heart. The Gunstringer was a Kinect game. Wilson's Heart. I have zero memory of that. Oh, it's VR. Okay. That explains why no one knows about it. I guess Comic Jumper is their biggest game other than these ones. I guess they didn't end up doing that much, actually. Are they still a thing? It became a subsidiary of Oculus Studios. Previously was also a part of Microsoft. Weird acquisition. You know, this game, you know, it does have a sense of humor to it, which, you know, is rarer than it should be in games, or maybe it was at the time. Do you think that people have figured out having humor in video games by this point? Do you think it's still the thing where when someone talks about humor in video games, they're like, oh yeah, the bar is low. You know, Conquer is like one of the funnier games out there. Or do you think it's like a little more refined now? And it's like, yeah, Portal is, I love Portal, so I'll say, like, if we ever get to the point where it's like Portal isn't one of the funniest games, or like Psychonauts isn't one of the funniest games, that'd be weird to me. But it's possible that those games might be eclipsed one day by, like, out-and-out comedy games. I mean, I guess, like, Psychonauts is, like, it is, like, a comedy game insofar as it's, like, narrative focused and the narrative is full of little gags and jokes and stuff. I guess you could say that about Conquer as well. It's, very much a comedy game. If anything's a comedy game, it's Conquer's Bad Fur Day. This was a case where the other fork was just, you can't go that way. So that's fun. Probably disable a thing and then come back. Huh? What was I? What was I supposed to do with that guy? He just died. So I can't jump, so I can't go that way. And, dropping into the spike pit is obviously wrong. Interesting. I gotta do Life is Strange. I gotta do Life is Strange at some point off stream. I gotta give that a go. I've heard that it does not have the rewind mechanic, which I think is a big missed opportunity considering that they got like they got the main character whose ability was rewind. How did I die last time? Are you kidding me here? I can't undo this gate. Now, I have to do it before. I've heard that it doesn't have the rewind, which I think was, honestly, the secret sauce of Life is Strange. But people are saying it's good, and the main character from those games is back. And, honestly, that doesn't sound bad. It's just nothing, right? I mean, the last couple games of that series have not been great. But also getting back the character people like, and doing another plot of her, and, I haven't, like, looked at it beyond the first trailer that they did. I assume that's a big part about, like, her and another special lady friend who, you know, have a relationship. You've heard nothing but good things. I need to check that out, yeah. That's like the one game out right now that I have an interest in. Now we got barrels that you kick. That's fun. Big fan of the first one, yeah. The secret sauce in that first one was, again, the rewind, and every game that didn't have it was just like, hey, my new power is, I can move objects around or something. It's like, yeah, I don't know, that's, you could just... The rewind was so good because it could be used in social situations, as well as, non-social ones, right? Like, oh, you fucked up that conversation? You can just rewind time and, you know, not do it. Or you can be like, I'm gonna give you $100 to give me the information. Okay, here's the information. Rewind, rewind, rewind. I have my $100 back, and I have the information. Or you can be like, you know, you can be in a conversation with a lady and she's like, you didn't even know that my dad died. And then, you know, well, how much of a friend are you? And then you rewind and be like, oh, by the way, I'm sorry your dad died. And it's like, oh, you knew? Oh, thank you for, you know. Wow, you're not as clueless as you look. You know, there's a little bit of social manipulation there. That was really fun. As well as some great, you know, high concept, science fiction, time travel malarkey. Are people gonna stop saying malarkey? You know, I don't actually, you know, people don't. The only reason someone would say malarkey, honestly, is because they're thinking about how silly one of our world leaders were. People don't say the word crook that often. Probably like half the time the word crook is used would maybe be in reference to Nixon? Do you think that's true? I feel like that low-key might be true. I feel like it might be a big percentage. You like hitting people with old words? Said malarkey to your kids the other day and that stun locked them? I feel like whenever you say malarkey, it always will just read as a Biden reference. I think it's fun to say old stuff too. I think especially of like, of Norm Macdonald, who would just constantly say really old-timey stuff just because he thought it was funny to. Like, I have a note on my phone right now that says, like, when it's summertime again, I should try just randomly saying, it's hotter than a $3 pistol, like Norm Macdonald said once, and, you know, see what happens. See if anyone notices, picks up on it. I like it when Norm Macdonald says, holy lord. It's very funny to me. Feels like weirdly quaint. Weirdly quaint turn of phrase, you know, which is funny to me. What else is coming out this year? What else is coming out? There's Indiana Jones. That's like in December, right? I'll say when Indiana Jones comes out, I will do a stream, you know, one of those Game Pass streams where I play it, because it'll be on Game Pass, and also play, it's on Game Pass, right? That's Microsoft, right? I'll play that, and I'll also play, that Call of Duty. People have been saying that Call of Duty is good. I have not played a Call of Duty that I was into yet. You know, the first Call of Duty I played was 2, and then I said, well, this is no good, and I didn't play another one for 20 years. And then they put one on Xbox, on Game Pass, so I said, okay, I'll try that one. And coincidentally, they put the bad one on there from last year. I don't know why they did that. This is weirdly finicky. I don't know why they did that. They should put the good ones on there. And sure enough, they've done that now, so I'll check that and, I'll check that out in Indiana Jones. I'll check out that in Indiana Jones, come December. And also probably like a half dozen other other games. And there'll be other streams as well, of course. I'll say something I always do in December is I always do a stream. I say I always have. I have for the last 3 years. I've always done a stream where I checked out and revisited all the top games of this year. And I would like to do that in one stream this year and not two. Last year was like 2 10-hour streams to get through like 20 games that were like marginally up for consideration for some of them. Like I said, I've only played 2 Call of Duties. I might have played 3? 3 was not a good one. It was 4 that was the first good one. And by that point, I was like, you twice bitten, twice shy. Once bit. I'm shy. I'm shy at that point. I was bitten. I played a lot. I'm sure I played plenty of shooters in that mold that weren't Call of Duty. So, you know, I'm like fine and shit, but, you know, I wasn't really missing out, I guess. How many did I play? I played Titanfall. Is Titanfall like Call of Duty? It's by the same people, and the on-foot stuff is similar, but with, like, better gameplay. You're predicting I won't like the new one? Let's see. I'll say, the problem with Call of Duty 2, what the fuck is this? Huh. That was very strange. I guess just deflect rockets at the guy is what I do now. Okay. I don't know. I'll say the problem with Call of Duty 2 for me was kind of that it was too involved, you know? It was before shooters were like linear and straightforward. Back when you had to like think about where to go. Right? Like, oh, your objective is to go do this. Rather than just like, yeah, what the fuck was that shit? Just run down this hallway, it'll figure itself out. You know, nowadays shooters are very much like, yeah, just run down this hallway, you'll figure it out. You don't have to think. This isn't an RPG, you don't need these objectives are not so complicated, you need an objective marker. Anything of that sort. I feel like it might depend on, like, if I'm bored playing the basic gameplay. Well, I guess that's most games. If I get bored, I won't like it. We'll see. Oh, hide below the platform here. Okay. Did that guy just say summer school? Why did he say summer school? These missiles are entirely ineffective. Gameplay is probably good. If not too twitchy for you. Gotcha. I mean, I would like gameplay that has substance to it. You know, beyond just like aim the trigger and shoot, right? Like, I always feel in a shooter, like the shooters that I like the most would be stuff like, well, there's the Overwatches that are more about like tactics and stuff. You know, hero-based, squad-based, team-based shooters and stuff. There's ones that are like, very much about getting a line down, like your Neon Whites and things of that nature. Ones that are more about like movement and traversal. You know, like a Titanfall, things of that nature. Halo is also a very strategic shooter, I suppose. Don't mind a Halo. Though I didn't finish Infinite. I feel like Infinite just had too many. It's really wacky in BioShock or Halo Infinite. Oh, I'm confusing the Infinite games. It's really wacky in Halo Infinite how there was just only one biome. Fucking hell. There was only one biome in Halo Infinite. That's not good. I like the basics of it, just eventually you get tired of seeing trees. Trees, everywhere trees. Like, Always Sunny quotes. I'll watch Always Sunny. I haven't watched Always Sunny in 5 years, but, still a lot of quotes from it, like, live in my head. I feel at this point, if I wanted to, like, get back into it, I'd have to just start from the start, and, I don't know, I started rewatching recently, and I was just like, oh, this is, I'm just feeling very uncomfortable with some of the jokes in some of these episodes, you know, they go heavy. What the fuck was that shit? That seemed like, there was like... The window there sucked. What the fuck? I like BioShock Infinite still. I'll say a weird thing about BioShock Infinite, which is it's the one playthrough I tried. I started on this channel and didn't actually finish. The one time I ever, like, just was like, I'm not really feeling like going through this game once a week is really doing it for me. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just got bored as well, I guess. I don't know. It made for not as good content as Me too, same. I loved it. It was like my game of the year. It made less good for content than I thought it would. I'm not gonna way out of the coward this. Let's beat this. If I was doing it now, I might have just pushed through it. Part of the reason might have been like, yeah, I've seen the story before. There was no, a lot of the appeal is the story. So, like, you know, just going through it again and just being like, you know, especially when I was, like, early in my streaming career, just being like, okay, I guess I'll read this audio log, and just, like, looking at the camera and going, like, this is kind of boring. Like, I've already read this log. It's not that good. Should I reread it for the sake of people at home? I don't know. If I don't, it's just like, it's just regular ass shooting for the duration of the If I don't, I'm just like doing some shooting and that's it. Motherfucker, there was barely enough. God damn it. Maybe I want to stay over here and deflect from here. Maybe that's the key. Does this work? Yeah, it works fine. Some games just aren't replayable, I suppose. Low-key, I wouldn't mind giving that a second chance. I mean, I'll say, like, since then I have replayed games that, like, were more of a struggle to replay. I remember going through GTA 5 and just finding that to be very hard to push myself through. Part of that was back when I was doing... You know what I'll say, honestly? Back then, my style of, like, replaying games on stream was very different, right? What the fuck? That sucks. My style of replaying games on stream was very different. Like, back then, I would do Mario Maker for a while, and then be like, okay, time for like an hour of a replay at the end of Mario Maker. or before Mario Maker, one or the other. And, you know, that fits some games that are not that long pretty well, like, it's kind of fun to go through Banjo-Kazooie like 2 or 3 worlds at a time. But, like, for games that are, a little longer than that, like an hour at a time can be, like, can add up to forever. Really fast. I feel like that maybe was the thing with BioShock, and also low-key, to some extent, with, what the fuck was... Do I need to get on top of that platform? The same with BioShock, you know, maybe it would have benefited if I had just, like, pushed through it and done it in, like, 2 streams or something. It's not that long of a game, is it? Maybe 3 or 4 tops. What's the how long to beat on BioShock Infinite? What the hell? Where do we go? Like here? Jesus, this game's like the laser has just gone for a fraction of a second there. What the fuck? I should maybe try to get on top of the platform, or get onto like a edge hang position here. No, like 16 hours. Yeah, that'd be like four or 5 streams tops. I guess that is still a lot. You know what, like, going through it at, like, an hour at a time, yeah, I can see why that would be an hour or 2 at a time. That would be, like, a drag. You know, it's also worth considering that the format does matter. Like, if you try to play through Elder Scrolls, like, 1 hour at a time, or, like, an Elder Scrolls game, like, 1 hour at a time, if you try to play through, well, I say Persona, but actually the Endurance Run, famously Giant Bomb's Persona 4 Endurance Run was 1 hour at a time, back before videos and streams could be longer than 10 minutes, reasonably. Yeah, you can't get up there. Doesn't work. I guess the Endurance Run famously was an hour at a time, over 100 installments, but also that was a daily thing, not like a weekly thing. You know, if you tried to play an hour of Persona a week, you would go insane. You would go insane over the course of the, I guess, just three months and change that it would take you. Or maybe like 3 months on the dot if you're playing like Metaphor or something. A day, yeah. A day, that's like the most insane way to play a Persona game. Like, some days are just literally 2 minutes long. I'm sure, 100% sure there are people who have done that, right? That's someone's playthrough gimmick. And I'll say that is very funny, but, you would go insane playing a Persona that way. You would go insane, like, doing it that way. At least I think you would. I don't know. I wouldn't mind one gay giving that a second shot. And also, I'll say, by the way, if you're wondering, you know, like, oh, let's go back and look at those BioShock streams to see how they went. I'll say, like, that was before streams were archived on YouTube, so they don't exist anymore. Those are just gone. Nope, no records. I don't even know that any clips were made. Just there's no trace of any of those streams other than in my head and the heads of anyone who happened to have seen any of them. Christ almighty. Doesn't exist anymore. This is not a great boss, huh? I do think that's true of shows as well. You know, true of a lot of things, right? Like, I don't necessarily think, like, bingeability is like a constant thing, right? Like, some shows you have to binge, or you feel like you have to binge because they're so long, right? Like, whenever I rewatch Haikyuu or Food Wars, I get the feeling of like, oh, I gotta keep going. I gotta watch another episode right now. I gotta. There's arcs I need to get to. Whereas other shows are like, you know, I am 1000% happy, just like watching one episode at a time. And if I were to try to watch like 12 at a time, I would die. I wouldn't die, but I'd be, you know, I would tire of it. You know, some shows just aren't meant to be binged. Games are like that too, I feel. You know, where a little less time per playthrough is correct through like play. A little less of the game goes a long way, whereas some others it's like you gotta crank, you gotta roll. We got places to be. We gotta see what's up with this, we gotta see what's up with Kamoshida. Kamoshida? I've forgotten, like, all the names from Persona 5. I'll say I'm really bad with names. All the bad guy names. Shido. We gotta see what's up with Shido. Spoilers. Is his name a spoiler? I don't know if his name is a spoiler. You don't know. If you haven't played those games, you don't know who that is. And when they name him, it's obvious he's the villain. Because you've seen him like a million times. A villain. One of. Oh. I feel like I'll say I feel like we found another one of them flaws in this game. This boss fight really sucks. Really terrible. God. Just the way that you die. How finicky that whole platform thing is just really bad. It's just really bad. It should probably be like angled so it's like a bigger bigger safe zone. Let's try over here. Let's try on the right. We've been on the left this whole time. Left seems to be... The right side gives the units maybe less luck with the rockets, oddly enough. I guess, like, you get more rockets on the right side. Or on the left side, you get two rocket barrages versus one. I think we have to, like, juke him out or something. Is that what we had to do? We had to juke him out? Is that the trick? The fuck? Oh, there's a safe zone at the side. It never was about using the platforms as a safe zone. Huh. Well, don't we feel silly now? I regret words and deeds here. One of many cases where words and deeds both regretted. What the fuck is... What is this? Oh, I guess it's just avoidance. And do more rockets. I'll just stand off at the side then. What the fuck? Why would I be at the middle if he's gonna slam the middle? I'm just gonna be over here. You give me a rocket when you want to. Do I need to, like, blow these guys up or something? I feel like the run speed here is, like, weirdly slow, but... Yeah, you do need to bounce off these guys now. How many hits is this, seriously? He has, like, random kanji on the side of his head. Twisted Pixel, I'm pretty sure, is a Western studio. Made by, you know, Americans. A little bit cheeked there. Oh. Well, we finished the first world. It's been like, what, an hour and a half since the stream started? Let's, not sure how many worlds there are, but let's do a little bit, some of World 2. Let's do a little World 2 and see, like, if anything changes here once you go into World 2 and all. And then, actually, hang on, let me go back to the... First off, I would like to, before we go into World 2, what's Epilogue DLC? What's that? Prologue to Miss Splosion Man. This isn't going to pull up, like, credit card or nothing, right? This is all going to be cool. Looking at you, Xbox Live. Don't be weird. There's a problem downloading your update. Well, I wonder, because it's, the Xbox Live is shut down. You might not be able to use this on Xbox One. This is an Xbox One. This is Xbox Series X, actually. Yes. Okay. Seriously, this doesn't work anymore? It has like a... Ah, need to go into manage game here. See in Microsoft Store? None of this is going to be, sensitive, right? Prologue. Install. Installing. Okay. Let's, Prologue is Let me see. Where's the trial? Miss Splosion Man. Okay. I don't own it. Are the Xbox Live Arcade trials not available anymore? Well, that's a bummer. Hang on. I didn't want to actually buy it, but I do want to look at it. Miss. I feel like it's weird if they took all the demos offline. Yeah, let's see it in the store. People also like. I never played the Maw. Never played the Blob. Never. Clone and Clyde. Hey, there's Clone and Clyde. There's Clone and Clyde. It's a puzzle platformer where you wow, it has an average of 4.8. What is it on backlogged? On backlogged, it must be like a 3, right? Let me see. Backlogged, putting it in my phone now. Clone and Clyde is only a 5 out of 5 in the era where there hadn't been a 2D platformer for like 10 years. It's like a for its time very okay, very like mildly fun puzzle platformer, which is kind of goofy and good. It's like a 3 out of 5 in my books. Apparently the average is a 2.7 on backlogged. Most people give it the most common score is a 3 out of 5. Like I said, 3 out of 5 makes a lot more sense perhaps. Wow, people are so positive on Clone and Clyde. Wow. Maybe Xbox Splosion Man is a Miss Splosion Man is a 4 out of 5. So, jot that down. Is a 4.0. So, jot that down. Clone and Clyde more popular than Miss Splosion Man. McDonald's, I remember getting this game from a fast food meal. Wow, that'd be nice if true. Rayman Origins. I guess I'll say there were some platformers, but this game was like $10. These games were like $10. The other platformers that you could buy, they were like $50. They were like $60. And there wasn't like a big category, a big collection of older ones for like $5 that you could compare it to. The Xbox Live Arcade was like the bottom of the heap as far as like games go, unless you had a Wii, in which case you could play like SNES games for about the same. And probably putting them against each other in your head. Outland was fun. I remember Outland. Outland would be a good one to randomly revisit too. I think Outland is pretty cool. Guacamelee, I was sort of mid on Guacamelee. I don't think I liked it as much as most people. I'll say like I'll say like I want to randomly revisit more games in the future, and the ones I've done so far have been like small indie games on either Xbox or Switch. But just looking at the art for Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed, that was a good game. I would like to randomly revisit that one day. That'd be a good one. There's so many games from like before the Switch, or even on the Switch, that aren't like, part of my childhood, so they're not like big. I don't have like tons of nostalgia for them, but it's been so long, it'd be neat to go back and be like, oh, this game, how about this one, huh? This just looks like a sequel. This looks like a sequel. It looks like to me that there is no longer any looks to me like all the trials that used to be the standard are gone from Xbox Live Arcade, from these old Xbox Live Arcade games, right? If there was a demo, it would show it here, correct? Correct? Miss... It wouldn't be like a Miss Splosion Man demo separate from the main game, right? No. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be absurd. Look at the demos category on the thing. That's... Wait. Where is even the demos category? Do they still have a demos category? Game demos, here we go. I could say we're not gonna find Miss Splosion Man just like going right here. Again, recommend Metaphor. Metaphor fucking rules. If you like Persona, get Metaphor. I told a coworker today, I told him about Metaphor, and he was like, yeah, I love Persona. And I said, then you should get Metaphor. It's that simple. It's that simple. Show me all of them. And let's scroll to the bottom and see. These are all the demos. These are all the demos. So, like, do Xbox Live Arcade games still have demos? Oh, no. Like, the bottom of the stack is just, like, Xbox One. These are Xbox One games. I remember Dead Rising 3. That was the start of Xbox One, right? That was like a launch game. I remember Zoo Tycoon being a launch game for sure. Zumba World Party, Fitness, Marvel Superheroes, sure. Lego Movie video game. I wonder if that like I bet that's was a timely game at that time. So many Kinect games. I have my Kinect somewhere from the Xbox One. What it launched with. Does that still plug in? I'll say I don't think I ever saw a good Kinect game. Did I even buy any Kinect games? I don't think I did. If anyone was looking for a Kinect game revisit, I don't know if I own any. And I don't know if the Xbox Series X is compatible with that. Sort by console type, yes. Xbox One. Is this the full collection? See full library, yes. I hit B because I was thinking about Nintendo. This is a fun little aside, isn't it? Fun little aside. Group by console type. Let's go down to the bottom of Xbox One. Never had the original Kinect, so definitely would not have had anything that worked with it then. Okay, so like at the bottom here, we have a bunch of Game Pass stuff mucking up the works and you know, adding to the list of things I just own. Oh, own games. Let's see now. It's not a lot. It's weirdly short when you just scroll down. I think just Xbox Fitness, I bet, was included with the Xbox One. And, yeah, it's just not compatible anymore, so there you go. I don't think I had any, like, out and out, Kinect games. I don't even know if I had the opportunity to use the Kinect. I mean, what would it have been used for? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's Kinect specific here. And, you know, like, when you got to the time of, like a Dragon, like, that is, well past. That is well past, the era of the Kinect, where people were trying to make it work. Even the Kinect that was included with the thing. As for games it'd be fun to revisit, just like, to complete that thought, Outland would be one of them. Rock of Ages was pretty alright. Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. Iron Brigade. Crash Course 2 is low-key underrated. Maybe I should revisit Crash Course and Crash Course 2. Doritos Crash Course and Doritos Crash Course 2. Those two games rule. I'll say, by the way, on this note, I do have plans to do a extra live stream where I will acquire an Xbox 360, and my main games for that stream will be Tony Hawk's Project 8. Uh, what's it called? Blur, that's what it's called. Blur, and also I want to buy Amped 3. Three non-backwards compatible games that I have been itching to play, but also I want to have a donation incentive given it its extra life where y'all can pick out a game for me to play next, so long as I own it on Xbox, physically or digitally, I can pull it up. Hydro Thunder Hurricane is really good. That one's really good. Never finished Beyond Good and Evil HD. I don't know, it just didn't click with me. Stacking, like stacking a lot. Didn't really get From Dust. Super Meat Boy, obviously a classic. I think I rate Limbo lower than most people do. As I do Monday Night Combat, same story. Costume Quest. Shadow Complex is an all-timer. Here's Splosion Man. Those are two of the best games. Soul Calibur, another fine port. And yeah, the first Xbox Live Arcade game I owned was Cloning Clyde. If you're wondering like why I bring up Cloning Clyde an odd amount when I talk about Xbox Live Arcade and the level at which platformers were at like the mid-aughts. I'll say, like, anything that's compatible for 360, Far Cry, Blood Dragon is pretty cool. Anything that's on 360 is fair game for that extra live stream. So, jot that down. Anyone who has a game they want to make me play. Alan Wake, that'd be a fun one. I like the sequel a good deal. I feel like there's fewer games here than I remember. I wonder how many of them are just, like, not backwards compatible. I do know that, like, there is a non-backwards compatible version of Catan that was on Xbox 360 that I played a good deal. That'll probably be for, you unlock Green Hill Zone in SA2? God, I've never been able to do that in my life. That's not the gimmick. The gimmick isn't play 12 hours of Sonic Adventure 2. It'll be like play like an hour to like a half hour of given game over the course of a 12-hour stream. I'm not sure like how many games we'll have time for, etc., etc. But we'll make it work. There'll be a timer. Probably go for like 12 hours with like a little bit of a break so that it doesn't like go over. I don't want the VOD to be over 12 hours, but I do want to go 12 hours. We'll see how that works. I don't know. Last year, the extra live stuff was just like 3 streams of... last year, I committed to doing 50 turns of every Mario Party. And it turns out I could not do that in 2 10-hour streams. It took a third stream that was just like the last game to finish it. So like well over 24 hours of extra live streaming. This time will just be like 12 hours, let's say, on a Sunday day. Mario Party is always longer than you think. Hey, there's time trial if you want. Also, we can see now there's what? Oh, that'll be the DLC. What? How's there... One of those is the DLC level, I reckon. And one of those is, I don't quite understand how that works level select wise. Let me see the how do I get to the level select from in-game? Okay, yeah, so all the what? Here's a trailer. What is this? Maybe that's the trial, I guess. I don't quite get it. Especially if you do 50 turns, I'll say. Okay, whatever. Let's just do some World 2, and then we'll figure out how to do the Prologue DLC, and then we'll end. This volume is still good, right? Good, okay. Lovely, good to hear it. I'm gonna leave that poor scientist alone. He gets a pass today. Very lucky for him. I feel like just running around in this game and like having to redo an area feels really tedious. Feels really tedious. You know, it's not even a long... It doesn't even take that long to get from the start to here, but like having to do it again just... I feel like the winds are going out my sails, and I play... I play platformers like every week. I think there is something to be said about the quality of a platformer. And like the more compelling it is, the better it feels. The more willing you are to just like, you know, plow through an area. And also the more like nuance there is to plowing through an area, right? You can play faster in some games where like, okay, I got this down. I can just get unsafe. Whereas in this, like, no, there's... What you have to do doesn't change. No matter how many times you've done it. Right? There's no doing this but less safe. Oh great, these things you can only do once. Well, it seems like these are just for optional. Also, by the way, we're below the sea now, I guess. No longer... We're no longer under volcano. We're now, 40 leagues under the sea. It doesn't really make a difference. It looks the same. Except that when there's a window, we can see coral out there. Is that like a 2D drawing, you think? That just looks like SpongeBob. That just looks like SpongeBob. That's definitely a map drawing, isn't it? Huh. You know, hey, I can't fault them. They were an indie studio, I think, at the time, making a game that was $10. Like, yeah, I guess, can you expect anything more fancy? Yeah, the character is good, as well. They have heart. This game has heart, I'll say. That's like one of its best properties. The heart factor. The charm. Okay. What the fuck? I had no control over myself midair there. I guess you just have no control when you're doing a green one. Only the gray ones give you like the semblance of air control. The green ones are more automatic. Scientist energy. I guess we're collecting energy? I'm just realizing that there is sort of a collectible like bananas in this game. I guess when you destroy things, there are like little motes of stuff, and that's your bananas. It's not very obvious that that's a thing, though. Let's go to the level select real fast. Weird, we can go into World 3 as well? And yeah, the DLC world will be 5, I guess. We should do a little bit of 3 as well. Let's do like 5 levels. Let's do more 2 until they introduce something that's like noticeably new. Is that... Am I risking like basically giving this game a blank check if I say that? Let's give World 2 a few levels, and then let's check out 3 and see like if it's meaningfully different. And then we'll check out the prologue to find out like what's up with Miss Splosion Man, the sequel that I didn't buy back in the day because you know, I guess by that point in history, there were platformers maybe that were better than this. Like, Returns had come out. Probably had already come out, like, wasn't Returns like 08? Donkey Kong Country Returns? I mean, I'll say, like, this game is $10. Was $10 originally. You get a bit of a pass for that, even today. Well, actually, I think there are enough, like, S-tier $5, $10 games, as well as old games that have been discounted heavily to the point where they are $5. Like, I think we saw earlier, like, that, like, Sonic Racing Transformed is, like, $5 now. That's not something you would see during the Xbox era. That was 2010. Okay, I guess there weren't, by this point, there weren't, like, as many killer platformers out there. When was new Wii? What year was new Wii? I mean, I guess even if I can name one platformer that existed, that's just like one platformer in an era where, like, you know, people played Super Paper Mario and they didn't say, like, oh, this is not what a platformer feels like. This feels like really slow and awkward in nature, you know. In an era where Super Paper Mario was just able to be like, it's a platformer! And not like, yeah, it's like an RPG where it's a 2D, where traversal is 2D. That's basically what it was, but like back then, standards were lower. I guess, like, the best platformers of that era would have to be, like, well, one. Cute little scene there. Would have to be stuff like, NES and SNES games, first off. But also the stuff like Clone and Clyde, which, again, I should revisit that on stream sometime. That would be, interesting as hell. Hey, buddy. What's up? What are you doing? How you feeling? What was he doing there? It looks like he was about to, like, pet him or something. It's just the weirdness of the animation. Dude fell off the foreground there. That's cool. I haven't realized that they've just falling out into the foreground. You know what I'll say? Enemies going into the foreground is an underrated thing. You know, I play a lot of Mario Maker, and Mario enemies just tend to, like, disappear in a puff of smoke or something. Or, like, be squished down to non-existence. You know, like, they're so thin. They've been squished down so thin that they just blip out of existence. I like it in the DKC games where, like, when enemies take a hit in those games, they just, like, careen into the void. They just careen into the foreground like, Wah! You know, and they do a Wilhelm scream on the way down. What? Oh, leaderboards. What's my score overall? Like in the 1,000. Like in the 50,000s. Makes sense. I didn't try to get a good time. Remember leaderboards? I feel like games don't have leaderboards anymore as often. It was really cool when Banjo had them back on, for like the... Oh, this shit again. On when it came to Xbox Live Arcade, for every world and overall full game. Very fun to compare yourselves to all your friends and how fast you can do Banjo. Even if, you know, you're not like a, you know, actual speedrun type. You know, there's some games that make speedrunning like, some games that make speedrun type stuff, time trial stuff, appealing to the modern person. And, some of these Xbox Live Arcades did just that. You know, back in the 360 era, they were doing that, just that, often-ish. I do feel like playing this again. Like, parts of it are just like the most straightforward, light Kaizo type. I say light Kaizo as if it's a thing that exists outside of Mario Maker. Precision type, execution type platformer that you could find. And other parts are just like, weird janky exploration. Or like, oh, there's these random guys shooting you with lasers, avoid them. I don't know, I don't think it really fits 100%, but that's just me. I feel like I've been ragging on this era all night. On this era of 2D platformers. Here's a section where all you have to do is hang on to a thing and put the controller down, apparently. Okay. Cool. This is literally if you got up, it would be hard to get back down on there, and you'd be fucked. There's some parts of this where it feels like, yeah, they just thought like, why not? And then they did a thing, and they didn't never like, you know, kill their darlings. They didn't never like, you know, get it down to just the good ideas. Oh, come on! I guess we have to jump there. There we go. One more of World 2, and then we'll see a little of World 5, and then we'll check out like the prologue thing. Oh, this is new. What does this do? What does fire do for us? Also, now we're confirming that ice makes it so that you cannot explode. God, wasn't there a movie where like the characters were like, movie or a show where like I feel like maybe in retrospect this has become more. No, I'm probably thinking of like MacGruber or something. I'm gonna shoot. You know, like MacGruber saying like I'm gonna shoot. When he's you know, doing a thing. I think this gives me an extra jump. Yeah, this is totally an extra jump. Also, I don't think I can mess up here. I think that one mess up and you're basically done. So it refills you and it gives you an extra explosion. Oh, that's some good level design. That's some good, neat use of the mechanic. Seriously? That felt screwy. I guess you had to wait for the platform to move rather than try to jump off it. I'll say that by the way. I'll say that by the way. What the fuck? I'll say by the way, for next Tuesday's stream. There we go. Next Tuesday, I'm planning on doing some I bet there's a cake up there. Haven't gotten a cake in a minute. Oh. Okay. Next Tuesday, I'm planning on doing Metroid Dread Randomizer for a second time. Want to actually get through it this time. Want to not get to the point where I'm like out of ideas, and looking to set it up slightly differently to you know, make it more interesting for me, I guess. More to my liking. That's the plan anyway. We'll see what comes of that. This week, I just didn't have the energy after finishing Metaphor yet last night to, like, you know, put any time towards setting that up and getting that ready. A simple stream where I just play an old game. That was much more what I was in the mood for tonight. But definitely want to do another attempt at that. That first stream, a lot of that did very well. That Metroid Dread Randomizer stream. And, you know, it was also fun as well. You know, there's multiple reasons I want to go back and give it another go. Not just because it seems to have done well. But also, it does seem to have done pretty alright. Pretty good. Dang it. I am, we were talking earlier about there being some games that you can play for hours on end, and other, like a whole afternoon, a whole day. There's other games where you play them for like an hour or two, and you're like, oh my god, oh lord, you know, good lord, I'm at my limit, and I feel like I'm at my limit here. Oh hey, good. That was checkpointed. Good. Okay, I thought it wasn't. I thought it was just. I thought I was starting like from the first one of those. Whoops. Hey, can I get to the? Help and options? No. I will exit game from here. So... there was multiplayer in this game. How the fuck does that work? I don't have a second person to try that with, so... I guess who cares, right? Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. So, if I do continue, it just gets to the... takes me to the level that I was at, right? So, how do you get to the level select? So... what I'm understanding here is that there's no way to get to the level select. Let's check how to play. You can explode, you can wall explode. You can explode with another person to do a thing if you want. You can do like a countdown thing. Oh, you can self-detonate. I didn't realize that. That's a co-op thing. There are switches of many types. Some barrels, some enemies, and somewhat of a score system. So there's no way to get to the level select unless you just finished the level. That's not great. A little bit of a flaw there. I already got it downloaded, the DLC. And it seems like the trial no longer exists. Or maybe you could get it, but it's just not compatible with... You know what it is? I guess it still exists? But Xbox Live for 360 is like down, right? Like it's... I'm not sure how that works, honestly. If there was content that was only on Xbox 360, is it not preserved in any way whatsoever? I don't know. They say of Splosion, man, it has... We'll get to that later. You know what? Well, you know what I can do? I can go into the time trial and be like, show me 317. Oh wait, no, I can't. Huh. Weird. Okay, so I guess you can't... If you can, just skip ahead to 3. I don't understand why this is in there, if you... Why you can see this. Where's 4? Where's word 4? I'm missing something here. This doesn't make sense. Whatever. Maybe there are just 3 worlds. Maybe there's another DLC. No, I didn't see another DLC world. I'm missing something. Whatever. We can't see world 3. Find out what type of biome it is. I guess then, let's talk about Splosion Man. We got the Epilogue DLC downloaded. The trial of Splosion Man doesn't exist anymore. So we can't check that out, but We can at least do this epilogue DLC. Apparently, it has new levels, traps, enemies, tons of unlockables, ghost replays, ooh, challenge missions for real prizes, and countless other game improvements. The must-anticipated Splosion Man. Must-anticipated like 15 years ago, you understand. Is the definitive edition for any Splosion connoisseur. Definitive edition, and that's a weird way to describe a sequel. It's not just a reskin of this game, right? I don't think it was. I think it was an original game. Let's see that epilogue level. So we're gonna play as Miss Splosion Man here? I guess not. We're sorry, Splosion Man! Yeah, I bet you are. Well, it's kind of low-key good that we couldn't see World 5 because I am well and true just about at my limit here. Free apology cake. Oh hell yeah. Free apology cake. Look at this lighting. This was the Xbox 360 generation, I guess. You know, hey. You shouldn't. This is not what the lighting should look like. You get lighting like this, you fix it. I don't know. What the fuck do I know, I guess, but that's fucked up. Hey, you're in the way of my free apology cake. You wanna, like, move aside or something? Oh, that door is closed. They closed the door to the free apology cake. That doesn't... Why would they do that? That's messed up. I want some free apology cake. What? Do we need to, like, mid-air explode there to, like, arrest our momentum? That's probably it. Fuck. This free apology cake cannot come soon enough. Did the camera not move when I took this route? Like, I feel like the camera moved to, like, a higher position last couple times we were over here. Okay, friend. I understand. You apologize. Ah! He did that to himself! Not my fault here, buddy. I didn't do any of that crap. Oh, that one was me, though. Sorry. Sorry. I am ready for my free apology cake. This is like around the same area, the same time as like Portal, right? Cake is a lie was like a big meme. The Team Science apologizes. Well, that is good to know. To be clear, this is all their fault. Team Science. We're the good guy here. Sorry. The way that the explosions don't immediately recharge, just, I'll say it, it kind of sucks. It doesn't kind of suck, it definitely sucks. It materially sucks. Sort of adds like a second of like wait time before you can actually jump off. This just feels bad. I'm saying this in like the last level I'm gonna play. Is this the time to be rude to Splosion Man? I don't know. Like the last chance to be analytical about it, I guess. Cake, cake, cake. Where's that cake at? You guys are getting in the way of the cake. That seems silly. You know, you guys invited me on this shindig with the express purpose of giving me the cake. So, oh, come on. I got hung up by the scientist that was dying. Blocked by the scientist, I guess. Ooh. Here we go. Feel like this must be intuitive. There we go. Okay. This is intuitive. Just gotta slow it down. First jump is so awkward here because I'm just like... I'm bouncing, but I'm bouncing from the wrong place. Here we go. This right. Okay. I'll say I also noticed that this level thematically is not different from any of the ones before it. Well, the walls are white now. There's like white panels on the wall. Is that not different enough? Yes, that is not different enough. Must have been inspired by Portal. Like, on multiple elements, right? Like, it's a science... This guy is a science experiment gone wrong. And, clearly... You know, you're out here getting revenge on the scientists. And crap. Some Portal-adjacent stuff. But maybe, like, on some level they said, like, it's good enough for Portal. It's good enough for Portal 90% of the time. So why not us? This is a $10 game. It doesn't have to be that, fancy and, you know, like, points. Here we go. Apology cake this way. We're almost there. We're almost there. We must be just about to get to the apology cake. This is fun. No tricks, we promise. Good, let's see that apology cake. Look, it's right there. Okay, I'm gonna hit save and continue. And I'm gonna get a cake. Wait. What? Right, because it was a time trial. Well, when you put no way to, like, go to the level select beyond finishing a level, yeah, I don't know. Ugh, fuck. Well, I guess that's Splosion Man for you. That's on the game. That's not on me. It's not on me. Pretty sure Splosion Man gets captured there, and that is the plot of Miss Splosion Man, is that she's gotta free her man, or her male counterpart. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know, like, what the deal is with those crazy kids. What is the backlogged average of Splosion Man? Is Splosion Man lower rated than Cloning Clyde? 3.2, so yeah, higher rated than Cloning Clyde on backlog.com. What about on, I'm sort of curious here. What about on Xbox Live? Let me go to CN Store. It is 4 stars. Wow, really? 4.1. On Xbox Live, Cloning Clyde is higher rated than Splosion Man. You know, I would say both of them are 3 out of 5s in my book, but yeah, I'd probably give the edge to Cloning Clyde as well. I think Backlog has it backwards. I think Xbox Live has it forwards. That said, neither of them are a 4. Let's be real. They're both 3s. Tops. Pretty good. Pretty good, I guess. It's all right. A bit of fun. I'll say it was a lot less linear than I expected, but every time it diverged from that linearity, I do think it was worse off for it. I do think that the mechanics are just like so brain dead, and like the handling model is so unrefined. You know, like I said, there's no such thing as jump heights. There's no nuance to a lot of its mechanics. It's just it's kind of like a dial-up platformer. I don't know. Does that mean it's all right? It's flashy. It has some good humor to it, some charm, things of that nature. I can't say it's horrible. I can't say it's bad. It's pretty all right. And honestly, I think that's what I thought at the time as well. So, like, I guess it holds up. It's just as equally okay now as it was then. Certainly now we have better platformers all the time, all over. So, you know, jot that down, but yeah. Let me pull up the old schedule. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna jot down, Metroid Dread randomizer for next week. Let's commit to that right now. That sounds like a plan. At some point, I'm gonna buy a Xbox 360 and do an extra live stream around that as like a concept, I guess. I don't know. Meanwhile, the next stream will be on Friday, and that'll be Mario Maker viewer levels as per normal, as per usual. Let me see who's online, who I can send anyone hanging around on the Twitch side to. There's a few people. Let me see if I can just send you to, Can I send you to Min-Max show? I can. I'll send you to Min-Max. That's fun. One of the Min-Max people is playing, Overwatch over there. Overwatch Classic. That's a curious thing that I don't think I have time for this month. I don't think I have time for it this month. They should have put it out in a less busy month. Less busy month, less close to Game of the Year season, less close to the end of the year. I might, jeez. I gotta think about whether I want to buy certain games or do certain things or what I can fit in before the end of the year, Game of the Year wise, I guess. I also need to watch Look Back. It's like 10:30. It's not too late to watch Look Back tonight. You know what? I think I'll watch Look Back tonight. That sounds like a plan. After I finish this stream. Okay. That's gonna do it for tonight, y'all. I will see y'all on Friday. Next week will be next Tuesday will be Metroid Dread Randomizer, Mario Maker on Friday, and Xbox 360 Extra Life sometime in the future, sometime this month. I'll see you on Friday, folks. Bye.